Hey guys, Andrew Marsh here at drewfit.com. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a topic that may make you a little uncomfortable or a little embarrassed to admit, and these things are masturbation, watching pornography, making love or having sex, and ejaculation. And this is something that we all desire naturally as a human as we get older. So it's something that we shouldn't be ashamed to talk about or admit to doing, because I can guarantee you probably 100% of all of us have done it at one point in time or another. So with that being said, the practice that I'm going to be talking about today is going to be refraining from those things to really empower your life, whether it be personal development you're interested in, starting a business, maybe just empowering your relationship with your significant other, or getting a promotion at a job, whatever it may be. By practicing this, sexual transmutation may actually get you what you want in life and what you desire to empower and make your life better. So sexual transmutation, or some people call it today NoFap, we should probably clearly define what this means. And some people will tell you in the NoFap community, well, you can masturbate but you can't ejaculate, you can have sex and can't ejaculate, and absolutely no watching pornography. So there's kind of some stuff that crosses over that's pretty close to it, but I think it's a little wishy-washy, and I think that you should clearly define. And if you want to get the most benefit out of this, I think that by refraining from all four of those things, sex, masturbation, watching pornography, and overall just ejaculation, I think you're going to get the most benefit out of that practice. So where did I come across sexual transmutation? About 3 or 4 years ago, I purchased the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Amazing book for self-development, or whether you're trying to start a business, or just if you're wanting to read a book. I highly recommend this for everybody, because it really helps you get in control of your mind, body, and spirit, and helps to transition your lifestyle from something that you currently have to potentially getting the raise that you want at a job, or getting the job that you desire. Whatever it is, it really helps shift your focus so you can attain these things. So one of my favorite quotes from this book, and it has a lot to do with it, because he actually has a whole chapter on sexual transmutation, chapter 11, and it's sexual transmutation is the transformation of mediocrity into genius through transmutation. Now, his definition of genius is pretty cool. I'll read it here for you, pretty short. A good definition of a genius is a person who has discovered how to increase the vibrations of thought to the point where they can freely communicate with sources of knowledge not available through the ordinary rate of vibration of thought. So it's really tapping into knowledge that is inside of you, but because your sexual desire is so in control of your mind, body, and spirit, you aren't really able to tap into this line of thinking that you can by practicing sexual transmutation. And it's really cool. And another thing that he talks about in this book is how sex alone is the most powerful desire for all humans. So think of that. How many things do we desire? A lot of us desire money, houses, fashionable things. We desire the acceptance of others, but none outweigh our desire for sex. That's the most powerful desire that we have as humans. And one thing that I thought was pretty interesting is that a lot of athletes, and I know a musician like Kanye West, actually practice sexual transmutation and talk about it. Kanye West was actually noted saying that men go through so much to try to have sex in a night. Like, for instance, if it's a Friday night and you're getting ready to go out with your friends, guys get dressed, they get dressed up, they get their hair done, they shave, they wear this really expensive clothes, they wait outside in the cold for hours, all to maybe have a chance at having sex that night, or finding a girl that could be in a relationship with them. Just so much effort and focus goes into that desire of maybe having sex. And females do the same thing. They get dressed up pretty so a male will approach them and talk to them, and maybe they will have a sexual relationship. But when you think about it, how much time and effort that you put into potentially having sex, it's pretty crazy that if you focus that energy towards something else, you will actually tap into deeper thought and focus so you can attain certain goals that you want in life. And another thing that he talked about was the desire should be given an outlet through forms of expression that enrich the body, mind, and spirit. So what this means essentially is if you're practicing sexual transmutation or NoFap, you should probably do things that add benefits to your life. Because you're going to have all this energy by practicing these things. So why not go work out and get the body of your dreams, or start the business that you've always wanted, or go find the female that you've always wanted, or male that you've always wanted. Focus on things that are going to enrich your life. Give it an outlet, because if you don't, it's just going to be energy that's not productive at all. It's just going to be stagnant energy, basically. You can look at it that way. So, what are the benefits of sexual transmutation? Well, to name a few that are noted, pretty popular, that it increases dopamine levels. Now, dopamine is essentially the reward chemical of the brain. It's what gets you up and out of bed in the morning and gives you that excitement to tackle the day's activities. And really, say you score a game-winning basket in a sport. That is a boost of dopamine, and it's the same thing that people get when they do a drug, like maybe they're doing cocaine. It is just an overload of dopamine. Now, I'm not promoting doing any kind of drug to get an increase of dopamine, because that's an unhealthy way to get an increase of dopamine, and it's really artificial. So by practicing sexual transmutation, you've had that increase of dopamine inside of you all the time. You've just been releasing your essence out into the world very cheaply by masturbating to pornography or having a one-night stand. You're just releasing your essence very cheaply to where you could be building it up inside of you so you can tackle things that you want to in life, like starting a business and getting the job that you've always dreamed of. Another thing that it does is that it increases your focus, and that naturally comes of dopamine. And when you have an increase in focus, you can get things done. And when this happens, when you're practicing sexual transmutation and you have these things like an increase in dopamine and focus, I really want you to structure your lifestyle when you begin to do this so you can use that energy so you can empower your life. Because a lot of people will sell you the idea of sexual transmutation and NoFap that you just stop masturbating, your whole life's going to change. I'm not buying it. You actually have to take action. It's not just that simple. If it was, then I think that this world would be a pretty incredible place, because I think a lot of people would be practicing it more and more. So you have to actually take action to better yourself. So that's another thing to think about when you start to notice these benefits. Another thing that I personally noticed was an increase in energy and strength. And if you know me, I'm a pretty healthy person. I work out quite a bit. So my energy levels were always pretty well, and I had pretty good strength. But just by practicing sexual transmutation earlier this year, I really focused in on tracking my workouts, and I did 23 days of sexual transmutation and noticed my strength gains in the gym were through the roof. I just kept increasing the weight week by week, and increase in energy was incredible as well. You just get up out of bed and you have that feel that you want to just tackle any objective in the way. And I think that if a lot of us had that, this world would be a much better place. And another benefit is going to be it lowers anxiety. Specifically, it's going to lower your social anxiety. There's been people noted in the NoFap community that have noticed that their social anxiety kind of just disappeared. They're a lot more expressive when they're out in public. They've said that they've kind of been the life of the party, just being really social with a lot of people, as compared to when they had their social anxiety. They're kind of curled up in a ball in the corner of the room, not talking to anybody. So this is another major benefit. And again, a lot of these things I think naturally come with an increase in dopamine. So that's really what brings it all together, in my opinion, is that it kind of rewires your brain in a certain way. Not to say it's going to cure your mental illness. I don't want you to get the right idea, because like I said, you have to take action. Absolutely have to take action, because these things aren't just going to do themselves for you just by practicing this one simple thing. So to bring this all together, one question I get quite often when talking about sexual transmutation is, how do I get the most out of sexual transmutation? And I kind of talked about it a little bit already, but what you really want to do when you begin to implement sexual transmutation, day one, I want you to get a notepad and start jotting down ideas that you have in your head freely and kind of formulate what goals you want to tackle. Put a list of short-term goals and long-term goals, and day by day, kind of write next to those goals how you're going to achieve them, what steps are going to be taken, and go from there day by day. And that's what's really going to help transmutate your entire life to empower, whether it's starting a business, having a better relationship, so on and so forth, personal development. So before I go any further, if you are in a relationship, I want to say, do not do this unless you consult with your significant other, because I personally do not want to be the one that ended your relationship. I think that if you are going to implement this and you have a significant other, talk to them about it. Say, hey, we can't have sex or intercourse for X amount of time, and I think that we should both try this because I think we could both benefit from it really well. And I think that it will really empower a relationship on a deeper level, because I think sometimes people base a relationship off, oh, the sex is great, or we love being really intimate, and it can really, you can focus that energy that you have for your desires for one another and focus it on another aspect in your relationship and watch that bloom and grow. But that's neither here nor there. I wanted to put that disclaimer out there because I don't want to be the one that ended anybody's relationship. So to bring this all together, I hope that you guys really take this into consideration and put it into practice. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, need some feedback or some support, feel free to drop a comment below and let me know how things are going, because it's pretty cool to have a support group while you're going through this and hearing all these amazing transformations. And hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I'll probably be doing more videos on stuff like this and self-development as well. And I want to keep you guys in the loop. So thanks for watching.